Hi everyone, I'm back. This is Christina with Creating with Christina, and I have another color challenge for you. This week's color challenge is Tranquil Tide, Mint Macaron, and Lemon Lime Twist. Aren't these colors gorgeous? Love them, love them. All right, so today's card, we're going to need some supplies, obviously. First supplies we need are our paper. Today's card is on card base Tranquil Tide. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. My first layer is from the Share What You Love designer series paper. My next layer is from the Animal Outings designer series paper. A strip of Whisper White and some watercolor paper. All right, let's get started. Some other tools we need. I'm sorry. We're going to need the heat embossing tools. So we need Versamark ink, and we need white powder, an embossing buddy, something to catch your powder in. I use a coffee filter. Then we also need an aqua pen for some watercoloring, some snips to cut our butterfly out that we're going to be watercoloring, snail to adhere all our layers, Stampin' Dimensionals, gotta have those to pop our butterfly up. We have, Stampin' Up! Now has chamois, and what this is, it's a sponge like material, and it's wet, and I'm going to be using this to take off some of the sentiment off of a stamp. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is one of our new cleaning tools. It's a really awesome cleaning tool. We call it the Stampin' Chamois. Yeah. Anyways, you can see how it's stained, but it doesn't come off on your finger. It's just a miracle pad. I don't know what it is. It's just cool. All right, let's get started then. So, to begin, first of all, let's move our inks over here. I'm going to create my butterfly. So, I am using the Beautiful Day stamp set, and we're using this butterfly right here. I need my watercolor paper, and I need my butterfly. All right, here's my butterfly. I need my Versamark ink. All right, and just going to ink this little guy up. And just make sure I've got it good and covered. This butterfly is quite large, much larger than the ink pad. All right, now I am going to just squish that down there. And I like to hold it for just a sec, just making sure it gets stuck in the watercolor grooves. I do not rock it though. Don't rock it, don't move it, just press down and up. And then you can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, if the glare of the light shows where the butterfly is. Now, speaking of the chamois, so I can clean off my butterfly by just rubbing that on there. And clear ink is hard to see, but it's not on my stamp anymore. It's all on the chamois. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's put that away. With my ink, I need my powder. So pull this over. And like I said, I use this coffee filter just to catch all my powder. I'm doing white on white with clear, and so I really can't see, so I am just covering this baby all up, just pouring the whole thing on there. Pretty darn sure I got it covered. Yes, I did. Oh, you know what I did forget though? I forgot my embossing buddy. Well, if any white sticks to it on the white paper, it won't show up, so I'm not too worried about that. But if that had been a dark cardstock, I definitely would have wanted to use the embossing buddy, because the white powder, if it stuck to anything other than where the Versamark ink is, it would melt onto it and you would see it. So that's why the embossing buddy is so awesome. It keeps the powder from sticking to anything except the Versamark ink. All right, now that I have the white powder on here, I use my heat tool. Woo! And I just heat this guy up. And you can tell when it is melted, it starts to shine in the light. And there it goes. I don't know if you can see it in my camera, but I can see it. And powder is melting and getting all shiny. Ooh, that's a hot, hot heat gun. Careful, heat guns are very hot. You do not want to burn yourself. All right, and when I look at it in the light, I can see that it's shiny all over, so I know it's done. And I let it cool for a minute before I do my watercolor. So for my watercolor, I'm going to be using my Lemon Lime Twist and my Mint Macaron. And what I do is I squeeze my pad so that I get some ink on the plastic. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the older ink pad. It's a little, you have to flip it like that. This is our new ink pad model. Much easier. All I have to do is open it like that. Much easier. All right, so there are my two colors. Now I need my aqua pen. When I watercolor, I like to just put the color everywhere. I don't really follow any lines or anything. I don't make it look like the butterfly has certain colors in certain spots. I just, you know, they're translucent wings, and so I just kind of like, just color a little there, a little there. No real rhyme or reason to my coloring. I just randomly put color on its wings. And there, that looks good. All right, now I'm going to go through with the Mint Macaron and get it all. All right. Oh, I also keep a rag next to me. There we go, so I can like get all my ink off of my brush. There we go. I just squeeze a little bit and get some water, and there, I know it's gone. Now I'm going to do the Mint Macaron. And I want that pretty thin. I don't want it real dark on here. Okay, that looks good. And then I just come in here where I did not paint with the lemon lime. And also the water does not adhere to the embossing powder. It like resists it. It's really cool. And if you get outside the lines of the butterfly, that's okay too, because we're going to cut this little guy out. I call it fussy cutting. I don't know if that's the technical term, but that's what everybody in the crafting world calls it. So that's what I'm calling it. Fussy cutting. In other words, I'm going to cut this little butterfly out. And I said I'm just kind of just painting where I don't have the lemon lime twist. Okay, what do you think? It's kind of pretty, huh? I love it. Watercoloring is so easy, and it makes it look like you're like an amazing artist, which you are an amazing artist. But all it is just throwing the ink down and letting the embossing powder keep you in the lines. So it's pretty cool. I love it. All right, let's put all this away so we don't get ink on anything that we don't want ink on. And now we want to cut our butterfly out. Oh, I want to put the lid on my water. All right, when I first start my fussy cutting, I just real quickly go around my image so I don't have all this extra paper I'm trying to fight like I'm fighting right now. And just there. Now we can just get that out of the way. Now just fussy cut. And I'm just coming in here, and I'm using the light so I can see the shimmer of the embossing powder. And I'm just going around. Also, with these snips, you can get into these itty bitty teeny tiny areas. And they're just awesome. First of all, they're super, super sharp. But they're also, they have these little tiny tips that just help you get right in there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the end of this so you don't have to sit and watch me fussy cut. Okay, there we go. There's the little butterfly all cut out. Now let's put our card together. I need my card base here. Oh, and it's scored on the 4 1/4. And I didn't score it, but I can just fold it there in half. There we go. Okay, we need our first base, and this is from the Share What You Love paper designer series pad. Let's just use some snail to stick this on. There we go. And I just kind of eyeball it. There we go. And then our lemon lime twist from the Animal Outings. What is this? A little piece of the butterfly. There we go. And that's just centered in the middle, and it is 5.5 inches, so it goes all the way to both edges. Okay. Oh, this is for our sentiment, which I need to do, and then our butterfly. So let me do the sentiment first. I'm doing my sentiment in Tranquil Tide. And I'm using the saying in this Beautiful Day set called Always Thinking of You, except Always Thinking of You is not going to fit. My butterfly is going to cover up of you. So I want to get rid of the always. I just want the thinking of you. Now there's two ways you could do this. You could take a marker, a Tranquil Tide marker, and color thinking of you. Or you can do what I'm going to do, and that is I'm going to wipe off the always with the new chamois. So first I ink it up. All right, so I've got it inked up there. And then I take my chamois and very carefully I'm just going to wipe off the always. Okay. And I just get all that off of there. All right. There. Okay. Now, if it doesn't work, you can always turn your card over, but it should work. It worked on my last one, so. And then I just look at where I want it, and I go down and up. Ta-da! All it says is thinking of you. And now, to clean up the rest of my stamp, I just stick it in here, and see how it's real dark there? But that's just going to stain, and it cleans off the stamp. And of course, I got it a little bit on the wood, but that's okay. That's not going anywhere. All right, put that away. Put my stamps away. Whoops. Put up my ink. I do not want to have an ink accident. All right, and let's finish doing this. Here we go. Where to put my card? Here it is. And the thinking of you. Put some adhesive. Now, my dimensions, I have 1/4 of an inch, if you can say 1/4 of an inch from the floral paper to the edge of the card. And so this sentiment is going to fit right in between. Basically what I'm saying is I'm going to have 1/8 of an inch off of both sides. There we go. Of the edge of the card there. So the first layer is in the furthest, then the second layer comes out, and then the third layer, the sentiment layer, kind of is in between those two. All right. Last but not least, our little butterfly, and we need some Stampin' Dimensionals to give it that pop. Love these things. I mean, just gives your card a whole nother look when you pop up a focal point. It gives it that professional look, that ooh ah. All right, and there we go. Oh, okay. And make sure my butterfly doesn't hang off the edge so it'll fit in the envelope. Perfect. And there we go. Thinking of You card using the color challenge with the Tranquil Tide, the Mint Macaron, and the Lemon Lime Twist. I hope you guys like this card, and if you do a card with these colors, please tag it with hashtag CWK62918, and that's today's date, Friday, June the 29th. And that way, when we go on social media, when we look for that hashtag, we can see your creation along with everybody else's. I sure appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this. Also, visit my blog. All of the dimension, all of the sizes and everything are listed. And I guess that's about it. Okay. Thanks again, you guys. Bye-bye.